The concept of the magnetic man is often misunderstood as a simple matter of physical aesthetics or inherent charisma. But in reality, it is a sophisticated tapestry of psychological behaviors and social calibrations that create a profound sense of attraction in others. This magnetism is a dual edged sword. While it draws people in with an irresistible gravitational pull, it also serves as a catalyst for peer jealousy among those who observe this social dominance without understanding its internal mechanics. A primary driver of this magnetism is the art of self disclosure through narrative. Instead of merely stating facts about his life or listing his achievements in a linear, boastful manner, the magnetic man shares himself through the medium of the story. This format is crucial because it bypasses the logical filters of the listener and connects directly with their emotional centers. When he speaks of a failure, he does so by painting a scene, describing the sensory details, the internal conflict, and the eventual resolution or lesson learned. This narrative approach allows others to see his vulnerability without perceiving him as weak. Rather, he appears as the protagonist of a developing epic. By framing his life as a series of stories, he invites others to become invested in his journey, creating a sense of intimacy and relatability that mere data points could never achieve. This ability to weave one's identity into a compelling narrative is a rare skill that suggests high intelligence and emotional depth, qualities that are naturally attractive but frequently envied by those who struggle to articulate their own value in such a captivating way. Building upon this narrative foundation, the magnetic man ensures that his life is anchored by a particular area of extreme competence. This is not about being a jack of all trades, but rather about achieving a level of mastery in a specific niche that commands respect. Whether it is a professional skill, a complex hobby, or an intellectual pursuit, this island of excellence provides him with an unshakable foundation of self worth. When a man is truly competent, he radiates a quiet authority that does not need to be announced. It is felt by everyone in the room. This competence acts as a social signal of reliability and resourcefulness. People are naturally drawn to those who possess specialized knowledge or skills because it represents a form of power and stability. However, this same competence is a primary source of peer jealousy. In a social hierarchy, someone who has mastered a craft often highlights the lack of mastery in others. The magnetic man does not use his skill to belittle others, but his mere presence serves as a reminder of what is possible through discipline and focus. This mastery allows him to navigate the world with a weight that less competent individuals lack, giving him an air of importance that is both alluring to potential partners and intimidating to competitors who feel overshadowed by his demonstrated capabilities. Coupled with this competence is an unwavering confidence regarding his passions and goals. The magnetic man possesses a clear North Star, a set of objectives, or a vision for his future that he pursues with relentless conviction. This is not a loud or aggressive confidence, but a steady internal flame that remains unaffected by the skepticism or distractions of the world around him. When he speaks of his goals, there is no hint of a need for external validation. He does not ask for permission to pursue his dreams, nor does he apologize for the scale of his ambitions. This level of certainty is incredibly rare and therefore highly attractive. Most people live in a state of perpetual hesitation, unsure of their direction and easily swayed by the opinions of the collective. When they encounter a man who is certain of his path, they are drawn to his strength, hoping to catch a spark of that fire for themselves. For his peers, however, this unwavering confidence can be deeply unsettling. It exposes their own lack of direction and makes them feel stagnant in comparison. The magnetic man's commitment to his vision creates a divide between him and those who are content with mediocrity, leading to a dynamic where his success is admired by many but resented by those who feel left behind by his upward trajectory. The sophistication of the magnetic man is further revealed in his ability to harmonize with his environment through the matching of people's tones and emotions. This is a high level application of emotional intelligence known as limbic resonance. He does not remain a static, stoic figure regardless of the situation. Instead, he has the fluidity to meet people where they are. If someone is sharing a moment of high energy and excitement, he reflects that enthusiasm, amplifying the joy of the interaction. If another person is experiencing a moment of quiet reflection or sorrow, he softens his demeanor, offering a presence that is empathetic and attuned. This mirroring effect makes others feel profoundly understood and seen in his presence. It creates an immediate sense of rapport and safety, as people are naturally more comfortable with those who seem to share their internal frequency. This behavior is often mistaken by observers as a lack of authenticity, leading to jealousy from peers who perceive it as a tactical maneuver rather than a genuine expression of empathy. In reality, it is the mark of a man who is so secure in his own identity that he can afford to shift his outward expression to better connect with the human experience of those around him, making him a master of social cohesion. In addition to emotional mirroring, the magnetic man employs the subtle but powerful technique of using another person's name to show respect and recognition. He understands that a person's name is, to them, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. By weaving an individual's name naturally into conversation, not just at the beginning or end, but as a rhythmic anchor throughout their exchange, he signals that he is fully present and that he values the specific identity of the person he is talking to. This practice elevates the status of the listener, making them feel like the most important person in the room at that moment. It transforms a generic social interaction into a meaningful personal connection. While this may seem like a simple habit, its psychological impact is profound. It demonstrates a level of social awareness and courtesy that is often neglected in the modern age. Peers who witness this may feel a pang of jealousy because they see the immediate boost in likability the magnetic man receives. They might perceive his use of names as charming in a way they cannot replicate, failing to realize that it stems from a genuine desire to acknowledge the humanity and individuality of every person he encounters. Humor is another vital tool in the magnetic man's social arsenal, but he specifically utilizes positive humor to connect with others. He avoids the low hanging fruit of sarcasm, disparagement, or self deprecation that many use to gain cheap laughs at the expense of themselves or others. Instead, his humor is uplifting, observational, and inclusive. He uses wit to highlight the absurdities of life or to create shared moments of levity that bring people together. This type of humor acts as a social lubricant, easing tensions and breaking down barriers between strangers. It signals a high degree of cognitive flexibility and a lack of malice, which makes him appear approachable and trustworthy. Because his humor is never a weapon used to tear others down, it creates a safe social environment where people feel free to be themselves. This ability to command a room through laughter without resorting to bullying or cynicism is a hallmark of true social mastery. Jealousy often arises here because other men may find that their own attempts at humor feel forced or aggressive by comparison, leaving them to wonder why the magnetic man can elicit such genuine warmth and laughter with seemingly little effort. One of the most defining and perhaps most polarizing traits of a magnetic man is his commitment to immediate communication when someone crosses a boundary. He does not harbor silent resentment or allow small slights to fester into major conflicts. Instead, he addresses the issue the moment it occurs with a calm, assertive clarity. This is not done with anger or a desire to dominate, but from a place of profound self respect. By saying, I don't appreciate that comment, or that is not a behavior I find acceptable, he sets the terms for how he expects to be treated. This transparency is incredibly attractive because it indicates that he is a man of integrity who cannot be easily manipulated or intimidated. It provides a clear framework for his relationships, which paradoxically makes people feel more secure around him because they always know where they stand. However, this trait is a significant trigger for peer jealousy. Many men struggle with the fear of social rejection and thus allow themselves to be walked over. Seeing a man who holds his ground with such ease and lack of emotional volatility can be deeply threatening to those who lack the same level of self assurance, leading them to label his healthy boundaries as arrogance or being difficult. Conversely, the magnetic man is equally immediate in communicating his appreciation for others. He does not withhold praise or wait for a special occasion to acknowledge someone's value. If he notices a colleague's hard work, a friend's loyalty, or a stranger's kindness, He voices his appreciation in that exact moment. This behavior is rooted in an abundance mindset. He does not feel that acknowledging the light in someone else dims his own. By being a source of positive reinforcement, he becomes a person that others want to be around as he makes them feel better about themselves. This creates a powerful cycle of reciprocity where people are eager to please him and maintain his high opinion of them. This habit of radical appreciation is perhaps the ultimate antidote to the jealousy his other traits might cause, yet it still serves to make him the center of his social circle. His peers may envy the loyalty and affection he commands, but they often fail to realize that this devotion is earned through his consistent practice of elevating those around him. In the end, the magnetic man is not defined by a single trait, but by a holistic integration of these behaviors, creating a presence that is simultaneously formidable and welcoming, a combination that defines the very essence of true social attraction.